Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So it's been a long time since I posted a video, several weeks in fact. I've been traveling a lot internationally and also domestically for work. So here it is, January 20th, I believe, and out in the workshop for the first time in a long time. And I got the replacement switch in for the one that I had trashed out. So I've got that put in place. I've got all of the track now back in. I've got feeders in different areas marked with the letter P, which I don't know why I used P for power, I guess. So everything's in place. I've been doing the finger check to make sure that I didn't have any track not in the joiners. And of course I found one right here that I'd already fixed that I didn't have set right, so I got that corrected. Next step is going to be, I'm probably going to check the power. I'll just put power to each of the lines, each of the blocks, to make sure that the trains will run on the block and that they're isolated so that they don't run anywhere else, to make sure that I've got everything aligned properly and gapped where I need it to be gapped. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at doing. Then after that, I will start to glue the track down, and I'll show what that's going to look like here in just a little bit. So anyway, stay tuned, more to come. Well, starting to do testing of the blocks, and it's a simple test. Just hooking up feeders to the wires associated with the different blocks, just to make sure that the engine runs and that it doesn't run beyond the block, just to kind of make sure I've got no stray electrical connections. So we'll bring it back this way. Runs nice and smooth over the switches is good. Should die here pretty quick. And there, it ran past the block. So that's good. Bring it back in here. I'll throw this switch. There's another block right here. I just want to make sure that it goes on that switch. And it does. And there it dies, which is perfect. It's supposed to do that right at that spot. Bring it up this way. And then there's another electrical block right here. So let's throw this switch. That's on that. And make sure we're going the right direction, and it'll die pretty quick. So perfect. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. So I'm going to test all of the different power drops and make sure that the different connections work here. And after that, I can start to glue the track in place. So making some progress. All right, Sunday afternoon. And I am satisfied that I've got the blocks put in place well. Everything's electrically isolated. I just had fun running the engine, different parts of the layout. Everything is in good shape, so it's on to the next step where I'm going to glue the track down. For that, I'm going to use this. I've found it to be a really useful product. Using pink foam board to glue chunks together for scenery. Also have used it on the ON30 to glue basically all of the track down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to squirt out a little bit on a little bead on a piece of scrap wood, actually probably a piece of cardboard. And then I'm going to use one of my little all-purpose tools. You can see I use a lot when I'm doing scenery. And the reason I'm using this one is it's small and it's flat. You could use a little putty knife, but you just have to use the front and be a little different technique than what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do a little bead. I'm going to take a little bit, scrape it off, just kind of like a painter's tool. And then come in and I'm going to lift ever so slightly a small area of track. Not disconnect anything, just lift it. I'll take the pins out so that I can get it up just a little bit, and then I'll go underneath the track and just kind of in different areas. It does not need to be a continuous bead. This power grab will do what it says. It'll grab. So you don't have to do the entire track. You just kind of want to really get it more where you've got connectors, just long straights or long sections, just so that it holds it in place. And I will press it down and into it, and it will not take much weight to get it set into the power grab. And then I'll just kind of work my way around the layout, do all sections, again, make sure everything's flat and in place, and then just let the power grab dry pretty much overnight, and that'll be it. Everything will be in place. The areas that I have not glued down, when I get to the ballast stage on Jerry's build here, the ballast will glue everything else down to the road bed. So use that good mix of dilute white glue. It'll saturate through. It will also hold. So the track will not be going anywhere on this, no matter how many times it gets moved. So it should be in pretty good shape. So that's going to be the next step on this. I'll get started on it here in a little bit and show you maybe a little snip as I'm going through one section, and then the end result. All right, I am ready to start putting down the construction adhesive to set the track in place. I've come and I've pulled up a lot of little nails so that I can gently lift a small area of the track. And what I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of the construction adhesive on here. I'm going to come in, I'm going to lift, and I'm just going to kind of put underneath. It doesn't have to be much, just enough to kind of get a little bit of the track covered. And just spread it out, because this stuff will grab and be able to go from there. And I will kind of come in, get it down. I'll come in on the other side. You can see how that'll work. We're on this side. Not do too much around the switches. I'll make sure that I do not foul the points with this adhesive. I can come in and get quite a bit done. Like I said, this doesn't need much, and I'll be good. All right, so there's that little bit. I will come back in and I will continue to work my way around the layout. Once it's in, I'm good. We'll come back and I will put in a few of these little pins in a couple of spots just to make sure that it's got a bite and it's not going anywhere. And my old eyes can't really see these well, but you get the idea. Doesn't take a lot. It's in place, and I'll work my way slowly around the layout and get it done. Well, Friday night comes to a close. Didn't really get a whole lot done this week, but tonight getting quite a bit done out here. Weather's warm, so the garage is comfortable again finally. So I've got basically half the layout done. From this little spur here on around to there, and then this over here. What I'm going to do is I will let this sit tonight, and then I'll come back in tomorrow and I'll just flip the layout so I could easily get access to the other side. This power grab grabs it quick. This is why, this is flat. I'm making sure that everything is pressed into it. It's not going anywhere. So I'm not even going to weight it down. It's holding very well already. In fact, I had a little strip right here that when I got up to it, I barely had any of the power grab on here from when I had put in the cork road bed. and I had to cut underneath the ties just to get that little bit out so that I could lift it to put more down. So that power grab works really, really well. So anyhow, I will call it a evening. Let this dry overnight, flip, and then be able to kind of set it up and start looking at what I need to do for the wiring. I'm at a point where I will get hold of Jerry, see what he's wanting for his panel, and we'll go from there, but making some progress. And just one other note before I wrap it up here. I'm still at the point in the construction where neatness does not necessarily count yet. You can see, like I talked earlier, I don't have solid beads of the power grab. I've got it scattered, spread out. Everything that you see, stains or just different colors, whatnot, it's all going to be hidden by ballast, and most of it's going to go away after I paint the track anyway. So at this point in time, neatness doesn't count. You just do not want to get things on the track. And if you do, just make sure you clean them up. So that's it for tonight. Now I'm going to go in the house. Saturday morning, and I have just finished gluing up the track to the road bed. You can see that the power grab, when you first apply it, it's more of a white color. However, when it dries, it becomes sort of a softer brownish color. It blends in with the cork pretty good. So where I did yesterday, you can see it, but it doesn't stand out, and the same thing will happen over on this side as the power grab dries. So I am done gluing the track down. Now I have reached out and I have talked to Jerry. Jerry is going to be bringing over some electrical supplies today. He is wanting his panel to be put over here on that side of the layout. So I'll see what he brings over, and then we'll talk about panel design, and I can start building that. Excuse me, and flip the layout over and start doing electrical. Now that I know where he wants it, I can get moving on that pretty quick. I can also start painting the track. I'll find out kind of what color Jerry is wanting. Obviously it's going to be rail tie brownish color, to see if he wants it more uniform, if he wants it to look a little bit more weathered. Kind of talk to him, because I can do techniques that I've done on the O scale ON30 to individually paint ties. Even on N scale you can do that. I would do broad areas and paint everything, and then come back in and do some touch-up just to give a little variability to the ties. So we'll talk about that when he's over this afternoon and go from there. Project's moving along. So just spent the last couple of minutes pulling pins. Actually, it's probably like 5 minutes. So I've pulled pins that I had holding the track in place. The power grab has grabbed. Everything is good. What I will do here soon is I'm going to come back in and I will take a scrap piece of track, pull the ties off, sand them down, and then fill in some of the gaps where ties broke or where I've got power drops where I can, areas for flex track, so that I can add a few more ties just to make it look a little bit better. But sitting pretty good. Jerry's just about ready to come over, so I'll get some stuff from him. We'll go on to the next things. So Jerry and his wife just visited and dropped off some materials here. Now they are off to go visit friends for the rest of the day. So Jerry and I talked about the power panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of masonite. I'm going to cut it about 1/3 of the way in and over, and maybe trim off an inch or two here. I'll get some pinstriping and we'll do a schematic of the layout here. Jerry has brought over some of these little toggle switches, perfect for this size, perfect for the masonite thickness. So this is going to be for his blocks, some other odds and ends and some wire. So we'll see what we do with that. And I'm thinking that I'll be able to do the diagram of the blocks and leave a space over here where I'll be able to put in for the plug for his walk around throttle. So can do that, and that should work. So I'm going to be getting started on it. So Jerry is happy. His wife enjoyed looking at Jerry's build, as well as the other layouts that I've got occupying the garage. So I think this is a good stopping point for this one. So with that, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.